Hi, I'm Shanti.
Hi, I'm Tatya.
I'm Clara.
I'm Alex.
I'm Ivy. Together we are
Selectionist Perfectionist.
Hi guys. Okay, hi. Okay, we're gonna start our reflection now. Okay, so
For Clara, when you first heard of the project, right? Like, how do you actually feel? And now that the project is like coming to an end, right? Like, what are your thoughts about it?
When I first heard about the project, I was actually very unsure and confused because what we have heard about it previously is different from what we're supposed to do. So previously, we heard that we're supposed to do a magazine that we can actually put our own thoughts in, and we even research and for some inspiration and everything. But to actually find out that we are supposed to do a coffee book table instead, which is a very different concept because this coffee book table is like very different from magazine, and it's like we have to participate in this Singapore 15 competition, which also actually puts a lot of stress for us because there are many other things that we need to do besides the coffee book table and our project. so yeah, it's very different from what the previous path actually did, and so we were quite confused lah after we heard about what we're supposed to do for this project. Yeah, and so now that this project is coming to an end, I feel although the process is very stressful and tiring, but we all feel that it's a very enriching and enjoyable process because we actually get to learn a lot of things, like what Alex will be saying or said, and it's like we really learn a lot of things and we learn from each other, and yeah, so it's like we even like get to patronize some of the subsidiaries and even try their very delicious food like greedy waffles, Texas chicken. And I used to think that some other brand is better, but now that I eat Texas chicken, I think that it's damn awesome. Yeah, so it's like we really got to try a lot of things and it's very eye-opening project. So what are the challenges and difficulties that you're facing?
As a group, right, I think that it's extremely tough for everyone because like we started Photoshop and design from scratch, and then like learn how to edit the photos, how to crop photos, and it's not easy lah, like cause like Photoshop and InDesign, they are more of like it's like very similar to AutoCAD lah, something like that. And then also that there's also time constraint because of this project, like because we still need to meet the people, we have to interview people before we can proceed doing coffee table. Copyright. Okay, so yeah, and then we didn't have a luxury time to really pick up the basic skills. So actually I'm the one who, I don't know lah, I think collate. Yeah, but firstly I actually did, like I watched YouTube videos to learn Photoshop lah. I wanted to, rely on my friends. Actually like our plan is to ask my friend to edit the photos. In the end, something cock up. So yeah, we have to do it ourselves. And also because of this InDesign and Photoshop, all of us will get to see. So yeah, this is what the challenges we face lah.
Look at our iPad.
So what's the time you have to do now? And you're supposed to be
And we're supposed to haven't finished our coffee table. My fault lah. Yeah, correct.
Personally, as the leader of the group, it was quite challenging because like I'm naturally quite a soft-spoken person. And like normally I don't really take on such roles,
especially for this huge.
You know, this project is like huge. So it's like one of the toughest projects in poly. Then like it was so hard lor. Then firstly for a project we had to like liaise with the company. Then like took up quite a lot of time. And like we couldn't start on the portfolio book before the interview ended. Then after we finished our interview, we also had to start on the portfolio book. Then like I had zero knowledge about Photoshop, InDesign or I never used before. And like since it was like similar to software such as Revit, AutoCAD, all those, I wasn't good at it. Like for the previous two software, I suck at it. So these two were no exception.
But she's good lah.
Okay lah, not really.
Proud lah, you say you
Yeah, I'm proud because I don't know.
At least you figure out yourself lah, without my help.
I independent.
Yeah lah, yeah lah.
Proud like of everyone. Because like almost all of us don't have like knowledge about Photoshop. Yeah, we only went for those crash course for once, for few hours.
Not really helpful.
So it was like very challenging. Yeah, challenging but like enriching experience for us.
Yeah, we don't hate Photoshop lah and InDesign. Enjoy it.
Actually sometimes I enjoy it lah.
Yeah, I love InDesign. Like chill.
InDesign is easy to use.
Yeah. Photoshop.
Yeah, actually I Photoshop.
Yeah, we still left with report and video. 5 videos. Good luck to me. Try lah. Currently these videos I need editing. Yeah, we shall sign off. Bye.
Okay, so we're taking our reflection now. So Alex, what are some of the things you can take away from this project?
So I think like this project over the course of like the last 2-3 months, right, it actually taught us a lot of stuff. I think the first thing is that we because of this project, right, we are able to meet a lot of people who we are not likely to meet in our lives. For example, you know, the managing director, the executive chef from Select, and all the different people. You know, for example, like just talk about the managing director himself. He's actually someone of very like high position. So the chance for us to like talk to him was actually something very rewarding because from his interviews, right, from the interview with him, we actually learned a lot of things, like how he actually developed his company from a very, very small kitchen, and then how he actually has his own beliefs. Then he also said about things like how he believed that if you are pursuing the wrong path, right, you can actually as long as you have the will, right, you can also change your path. You can take on another role, take on another industry, whatever. He said like the most important thing is to not look back, just to keep carrying on. So even if your business has failed, right, you should always just get your feet back up together. That's one thing. Then I think another one is that like during the course of the since I'm on the topic of interviews, right, like we also learned that since we have actually conducted an interview with 6 different people, it actually taught us that when we talk to different people, there's actually very different styles that you can use in order to effectively reach out to them, for them to speak speak without feeling very constrained or restricted. So for example, if I was to talk to the managing director, I have to be very, very polite and be very, very humble and overall is to be more serious. Unless he gives us the signal to be a bit more relaxed, then we are able to like make it a bit less formal. However, like when I'm talking to another person, for example, like the Texas Chicken, we actually managed to talk to the manager's assistant and the part-timer. The language that we used was actually way more different because since they were not really, it's not that their role is not important. It's just that there's a difference in terms of the way they talk. So for example, like the kid, the part-timer that we talked to, right? He's actually I think 14-year-old boy or something. Then since he's a secondary school boy, we shouldn't like use a very formal tone. So what I did was that I actually took on a very very friendly and casual type of tone with him. I joke around with him. I made him feel like there's no pressure in answering. And then from then he actually dared to talk about things like whether he really liked this place or not. And yeah, we kind of got that kind of things. Then last of all, the last most important thing is that the stories of the people who have interviewed, especially for example the managing director and the executive chef, right? They both came from very humble backgrounds. So from this, what we learned is that no matter what background you come from, as long as you have the will and you put in the effort and you know your sense of direction and you don't give up, you can actually be successful. So that's the end of question 3.
Okay.
So Ivy, how do you feel working with this team?
Okay, so we all feel that we all feel very satisfied working with this team because we all agree upon being in the same team together lah. So everyone in this group has their strong and weak points, but we managed to complement each other. So during this project, obviously there are disagreements and like miscommunication, but we were all able to manage. We were all able to sort things out peacefully lah. As a group. Then I also personally feel very glad and lucky to be in this group because at least our like when we have disagreements or miscommunication, it wouldn't be so bad. Like we all still can talk things out peacefully. We didn't have to resort to raising voice at each other or anything. So with regards to our teamwork, right, I feel that and we all feel that we have good chemistry together, and that all the members were very were cooperative and participative in the activities and all the discussion. So if I were to rate my team from 1 to 10, I will rate 11.
So how do you feel working with Selectionist?
From the moment I met you, I just knew you'd be mine.
Because we are quite familiar with this company.
You touched my hand and I knew that this was gonna be our time.
So throughout the project,
I don't ever wanna lose this feeling. I don't wanna spend a moment apart. 'Cause you bring out the best in me, like no one else can do. That's why I'm by your side. That's why I love you.
And also, I like to mention of just now you're talking about some of the parties that we were
Every day that I'm here with you, I know that it feels right.
First of all, it's the director, of course, because when we wanted to do the interview with him, he was actually on a very tight schedule, and he had a flight for the next day. Just came back from the and then
it just had to be you and me. 'Cause you bring out the best in me, like no one else can do. That's why I'm by your side.
some of the other managers from
That's why I love you.
Allowing us the opportunity to go down and have a talk about
And you know that we belong together.
providing very fast
It
response.
just had to be
So,
you
summing
and
up, we actually very
me.
lucky to participate in this.
'Cause you bring out the best in me,
It's once in a lifetime
like
thing,
no
and
one else
he
can
actually give us a lot of
That's why
insights
I'm
on
by
things in
your
Singapore. And from
side.
this, we're actually very appreciative of all the
'cause you bring out the best in me, like no one else can do. That's why